So in this one, we are going to be installing the Django LocalFlavor app. This used to be built into Django, but Django developers decided to make it its own independent app if you want to use it. So the reason we're going to be using this is really just to show you that you can use it. The use of it might become very useful for you in other things. So what's really good about it is it can give you a list of like the United States states, so a list of all the states. It could also do phone number validation fields and things that you don't have to take all this time to build yourself, right? So the example it gives you is the France phone number validation field, and it shows you how you could use it in any particular form. And you could also do a generic date field and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that the Django LocalFlavor actually does provide. So I do recommend checking it out if you need to extend locations in any form or fashion. So let's go ahead and install it. And it's pip install Django and dash LocalFlavor. And as it's downloading, I'm going to go ahead and do pip freeze requirements.txt since I just updated my requirements. And then we'll add LocalFlavor into our settings. So inside of matchmaker, we can add it into the base because this one is definitely going to be going on all of them. So we'll add LocalFlavor right underneath crispy forms. And I'm going to add this into local as well. All right, and then I'm going to migrate this. So python manage.py, make migrations, and then python manage.py, migrate. All right. So now what we have to do is actually finish off our models app for jobs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the US state field here. So this is a field that goes directly onto the model. Notice it says a model field where some of the fields just are for forms. So if you actually see that there's form helpers, so specifically for forms, they won't be used in the models. Like United States Postal Service select, so a zip code, right? So it actually allows you to use a zip code, and then a US phone number field, social security number field. All of this stuff is really useful for us. And then it also has like different all sorts of validations in here that make it so we don't actually have to think about it. And of course, you can look at the source code to see exactly how it's being done too. All right, so let's go into our model. And now that we have LocalFlavor installed, I can just copy this hashtag here. So this hashtag brings me down to the LocalFlavors model itself. So you could also just copy this. And this is how it's stored. So if I just pasted this in here, I would do from local models, LocalFlavor.us.models, import US state field. And now I could just say state equals to US state field, and I'll say null equals to true and blank equals to true. And then finally, I want to make sure that all my models are correct. It looks like I have some spelling errors on these. Models. Okay, cool. So now these are all done. Let's go back into our local, and we'll add jobs in here. So jobs is going to be the first app that we'll have now. And we'll go ahead and do python manage.py, make migrations. And looks like we got a little bit of an error still inside of models. All right, so those look all good now. Okay, and then we do python manage.py, and we'll say migrate. Cool. So let's go ahead and run the server. And we're going to just add in, because I want to show you the LocalFlavors, what it does. We're going to add in employer to the admin. So we'll do from.models, import employer, and we'll do admin.site.register employer. Now let's go into our admin, and we see employers here. If I hit add, I now see this list of states. So these are all the US states. So we can actually use this and save it, which makes it very convenient for us if our actual matchmaker was using or working off of this. Granted, we are actually not going to have this on ours. Long term, we're just going to leave it out because I'm not actually going to need it in the future because of how I'm setting this whole thing up. It's just going to be based off of a city location that they set, and also, or we'll say location and then city. So location is city basically, but we don't have to worry about that at this point. So since I just removed that field, I'm going to go ahead and make the migrations and migrate it. All right. So now that we've got this, what we're ready for is actually to add jobs as an individual user. So if you have any questions on this or why we even introduced this US state field name or any of the local flavor stuff, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.